Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like football transfers are just this constant storm of whispers, rumors, then boom, a deal happens, or maybe it collapses?
Yeah, it's relentless. And wading through all that daily noise, it's tough.
Exactly. You miss the important stuff, the why behind it all. Well, that's what we're doing today, cutting through it. Our mission on this deep dive, to pull out the key bits of info, the real nuggets from the ultimate insider. We're talking, of course, about Fabrizio Romano, the guy for breaking news, for the details in the transfer market. We've got his latest insights right here.
And we're going to, connect the dots for you. It's not just what's happening.
But the strategy, the why.
Precisely.
And hey, before we jump in, if you want to stay ahead and get these kinds of insights regularly, make sure you hit subscribe. Don't miss out. Right. I'm actually really keen to get into these updates. It's always fascinating how these little pieces, these surprising facts and details fit together, stuff you'd easily miss.
And that's the key, isn't it? You take these snippets, you piece them together, and suddenly you see the bigger picture, the club strategies, the challenges they're facing. It gives you a totally different perspective on why they make certain moves.
Okay, let's kick things off then. We've got a confirmed, here we go, straight away, Romano's signature phrase. Means it's done.
The seal of approval.
And it's a bit of a surprise, actually. Olivier Giroud.
Oh, yeah.
Back in Europe, heading to Lille in France after just one season over in MLS with LAFC.
Wow, okay. That is quick. It says something, though, doesn't it, about veteran experience?
Totally. Even with everyone chasing young talent, clubs still value that proven quality, the leadership.
Especially for immediate impact. It's that balancing act, long-term vision versus what the squad needs now. Giroud definitely brings something specific.
A really solid piece of news to start with.
Okay.
From a done deal to, well, a saga, Jadon Sancho.
Yes. This one's been rumbling.
And Romano says Manchester United's stance is very clear. They want to part ways. Permanently.
No loan deals this time.
Seems like it. The source says the story between Sancho and United, it's over. Has been for weeks.
Right. And the fascinating thing here, connecting the dots, like we said, is how much the salary dictates everything.
The elephant in the room.
Absolutely. It's a huge barrier, even for a player with his talent. You look at Chelsea, for example. Romano points out they had an option, right? But they decided not to take it. Why? His full salary.
He just didn't want to pay it.
Exactly. Didn't want to break their structure, as the source puts it, mess up their whole wage balance for one player. It shows you the financial tightrope clubs walk.
So that really highlights the problem for United. If Chelsea wouldn't bite because of the wages.
It makes it tough. What about those Fenerbahce links recently? There were stories of advanced talks.
Right, I saw those. What's the word there?
Romano basically pours cold water on it, says it's very quiet. Not advanced, not concrete, not progressing.
So just noise then?
Seems like it for now. The core issue remains. Salary is the topic.
Always comes back to that.
Yeah. The expectation, according to the source, is United will just have to wait. Wait for someone willing to cover that full salary or structure a permanent deal somehow.
Any other interest bubbling?
Well, there were calls from Napoli a couple of weeks back. Juventus still like him, apparently, but again, no one seems ready to commit to those wages right now.
It puts United in a tricky spot, doesn't it? Holding on to a player they want to sell but can't easily shift because of the cost.
It's a classic transfer market dilemma. How long do you wait? Does the value decrease further? It's complex.
Definitely one to keep watching. Okay, let's switch focus a bit. Chelsea again. Any truth to the Emi Martinez rumors? The goalkeeper.
Nope. Straight debunk from Romano on that one. There is nothing. Chelsea are not in talks with him or Villa. Situation is completely quiet.
Good to clear that up. So another Chelsea player, Noni Madueke. This one sounds interesting, an open story.
Yeah, that's the phrase used. Chelsea see him as an important player, part of the rotation. They say he's not available for sale.
But open story suggests maybe that's not the final word.
Exactly. It leaves the door slightly ajar, perhaps. And it seems Arsenal might be peering through that opening.
Oh. Arsenal are interested.
Romano confirms he's one of the names being discussed internally at Arsenal this week. They appreciate him.
Have they made a bid?
No, not made any bid yet. And it's not just Maduke they're looking at for that winger spot. Anthony Gordon at Newcastle is another one they appreciate. So they're keeping options open.
Smart strategy.
Yeah.
Don't fixate on just one target.
Right. But back to Madueke, the key thing is no light from Chelsea. no signal they'd actually sell, and no club-to-club talks.
So nothing imminent there, just internal discussions at Arsenal for now.
Correct. It's all very much up in the air.
Okay, sticking with Arsenal, let's talk defense. Christian Mosquera from Valencia. There were reports of a rejected bid.
Yeah, figures like 19 or 20 million euros were mentioned, but Romano clarifies Arsenal's first offer was actually less than that.
Oh, so it wasn't a serious bid they expected to be accepted.
More like an opening gambit, just to open a conversation, test Valencia's resolve.
Makes sense. So what are Arsenal hoping for price-wise?
The source suggests something around 25 million euros is what they're aiming for. They're described as being in the process to sign Mosquera.
And the player, is he keen?
Big time. Mosquera has apparently given the green light. He wants the Arsenal move. Personal terms, we'll be okay. No issues there.
That's always a massive plus.
Yeah.
Player wants the move.
Huge. But Valencia won't accept, say, 14, 16 million. So Arsenal needs to find a smart solution, especially with his contract running down next summer.
Right. That gives Arsenal some leverage, but Valencia still needs a fee they can accept.
Precisely. Despite other interests, Romano says Arsenal remain the clear favorites. They have a clear project for him, a strong pitch.
Sounds promising for them then. Okay, let's move to another potential transfer battle. João Pedro.
Yeah, the Brighton attacker.
Newcastle are really interested, right?
Confirmed. They're pushing for João Pedro. They want the player, actively working on it.
But it's not just Newcastle.
No! Crucially, Romano reminds us Chelsea are also interested. He's a player of interest for them on their shortlist. They like the player.
So potential attacking solution for both clubs. A proper tug-of-war.
Looks like it. Newcastle pushing, Chelsea watching closely. But here's the key part. No green light club to club from Brighton yet.
Meaning Brighton haven't agreed to sell to anyone or haven't agreed a fee.
Yeah, no agreement on the transfer itself between Brighton and either Newcastle or Chelsea. So it's active but not finalized by any means.
Got it. Another one where patience is needed. Okay, finally, Bryan Mbeumo at Brentford. Manchester United seem keen.
Very keen. There were reports Brentford rejected a bid.
Sure.
Romano says, yeah, but conversations continue. It's not dead.
So what was the rejected bid about? Just too low?
Sounds like it. The feeling is Brentford are pointing to the price tag of other players in the market.
Using comparables to push the price up. Standard tactic.
Pretty much. They want more than United offered in that second bid. But the key thing, the clubs are again in talks, trying to find that solution.
And United's feeling. Are they getting nervous?
Quite the opposite, apparently. Romano says United remain calm, confident, and optimistic.
Why so confident if the bid was rejected?
Because of the player. This is crucial. Mbeumo has reportedly given total priority to Manchester United.
Really? He wants to move that badly?
Seems so. He wants to go, and has apparently told Brentford directly he wants to wear red next season.
Wow. That changes the dynamic significantly.
It really does. When a player makes their desire that clear, especially to their current club, it puts pressure on the selling club to negotiate seriously. They don't want an unhappy player.
Makes sense. So even though there's no agreement as of tonight, the talks continue.
Exactly. Conversations will continue. The story is still active, still alive, definitely not over.
It feels like that player power could be the deciding factor there.
Often is at the end of the day, even more than the initial valuation sometimes.
Well, that's quite a whirlwind. We've gone through Giroud's surprise return, Sancho's salary saga, the winger hunt for Arsenal and Chelsea, Mosquera's potential move, and the battles for Pedro and Mbeumo.
Yeah, a lot happening.
And thanks to these insights from Fabrizio Romano, you hopefully get a much clearer picture now. It's not just random rumors. You see the strategy, the financial constraints.
Like the salary blocking Sancho.
Right, or Arsenal's lowball bid for Mosquera just to start talks.
And how much a player like Mbeumo wanting United can really drive things forward.
Exactly. It helps make sense of it all quickly. So here's something to think about as you follow these stories. We've seen how much salaries, club structures, market prices dictate these deals. But that point about Mbeumo wanting the move, how much do you really think pure passion or that desire to wear the shirt actually matters in the final stages of these huge multi-million euro negotiations, beyond just being leverage?
That's a great question. Does it genuinely sway the final numbers, or is it just a factor that gets things moving? Something to definitely ponder.
Food for thought. Right, that's us for this deep dive. Hope you found it useful.
Yeah, I hope it helped cut through some of that noise.
Absolutely. Remember to subscribe to The Deep Dive if you haven't already for more insights like this. We try to make the complex stuff clear.
One deep dive at a time.
Exactly. Until next time, stay curious.